What's your name again?
Wasani.
Wasani.
Yeah.
You're Garifuna?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
That's where we live over here.
Oh, you live over
Yeah,
here?
it's our family business over here.
Okay.
So thank you for joining me on our family today. It's gonna be a great day.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, of course.
Yes. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, financial besties. How you doing? How you been? Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new to me, hey girl, hey. I'm Malika, a money coach and the founder of Fabulous Financials. I help Black women just like you learn to invest in the stock market so you can build a portfolio to achieve financial independence and live whatever you love. If that sounds like your vibe, then go ahead and subscribe to my channel and turn on that notification bell while you're down there so you will be notified the next time I upload a new video or go live. When you travel, do you travel to immerse yourself in the culture or to learn more about the local people? That is something that I have been more interested in doing lately. So let's talk about my most recent trip to Belize and my amazing interaction with the Garifuna people that live in the coastal village of Hopkins. I flew to Belize from Guatemala. That'll be a separate video. But I flew to Belize on TAG Airline. My flight was a little over $200. It was a very short flight. I don't even think it was 2 hours, less than 2 hours, I'm sure. But anyway, so I arrived in Belize City. I had another regional flight already booked to take me from Belize City to Dangriga. I think I'm saying that right. But that regional flight was on a little bitty puddle jumper airplane, and the airline was Maya Airline. That flight cost about $50, and the flight itself was maybe 15 minutes. I probably spent more time in the airport waiting on the connecting flight than the actual flight itself. When they walked us outside to board this little puddle jumper, my stomach tightened just a little bit. But once I got on board and we lifted up in the air, I was okay. But the ride over, even though it was short, like I said, only about 15 minutes, it was still a very scenic ride. And I really enjoyed overlooking the barrier reef, because that's what Belize is known for, or one of the main things that it's known for. So once I landed in Dangriga, my hotel sent a driver to pick me up. I love being picked up and the driver is holding a sign with my name on it. But anyway, I stayed at a resort called Sierra de la Mar. The experience was luxury and top notch from the second I arrived to the second I left. When we pulled up, there was a sign with my name on it that welcomed me. It was a small little resort, so it was nice and quaint. And I stayed in a 1-bedroom villa. The first day when I checked in, it was just a chill day. I just wanted to relax. I lounged on the beach. While I was relaxing and chilling on the beach, the little Mayan ladies came over to hustle me, trying to get me to buy their handmade thing. But the main reason I traveled to Belize was to have a cultural interaction with the Garifuna people. So I booked the excursion through Airbnb experiences. It was about $100 and it was a full day excursion and it exceeded my expectations and I absolutely loved it. So the next day was the day of my excursion with the Garifuna people, and the owner of the hotel or the management of the hotel sent me a text message and was like, so Malika, what time are you going over to Pimento Grove? That's the name of the property that this Garifuna family stays on. And I was telling her, you know, what time it was, and I had already confirmed with the point of contact with the tour how to get to the meeting point, and they would pick me up on a kayak. Well, the owner of the property was like, oh, no, 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 we do not want you walking around by yourself. I will send my security over to escort you to the meeting point. And I was like, okay. So here I am cruising over to the village site. It was so beautiful. The
Yes.
water was so calm and peaceful.
And what's your name again?
Wasani.
Wasani.
Yeah.
You're Garifuna?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
That's where we live over here. Actually.
Oh, you live over here?
It's our family business over here.
Okay.
So thank you for joining me on our family today. It's gonna be a great day.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
So I arrive at the village and I'm just so excited. Like I can barely contain my excitement. So I later found out that the gentleman that was rowing the kayak was the son of the woman who curates these Airbnb experiences with her family. And the very next person that I officially met was her father.
Good morning.
You want me right in here?
Okay.
We're gonna change it to a front too.
So we were told to change our clothes. There was a rack of clothes. And we were told to pick whatever we wanted. And it was all traditional Garifuna attire. So of course, I tried to find something pink or as close to pink as possible. And this is me in what looks like a muumuu, because it looks like something that my grandmother wore back in the day, but we were told that this is traditional Garifuna attire. It's very interesting. From the very beginning, as I listened to the history and the stories that were told, and as the day progressed, I noticed a lot of similarities between the Garifuna culture and African Americans, including the attire. So the next thing we did, we went into this little room and we sat down with the elder of the family.
107.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Good living.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name, but I just call him Dad. I just call him Dad, and he responded to me calling him Dad, so he was Dad to me. But anyway, he sat down to tell us about the Garifuna culture, their history, their family structure, how they were never ever enslaved, how they fought the British and the Spaniards for over 100 years, and how they ultimately integrated into their culture and they became the multilingual community that they are today. They speak English, they speak Spanish, they speak Creole, and some of them even speak the true indigenous language of the Mayan community. But here's a clip of Dad telling us about some of the Garifuna history.
They exiled us from our homeland in St. Vincent to some island east of the St. Vincent Islands called the Belize. Now that is where now more than half of our population perished. Obviously by living conditions, but it was particularly through suicide. We did not want to be enslaved, so we threw our children off the cliffs on the island of Belize and we jumped after them because we refused to be enslaved. That's when our population almost disappeared. But what happened? So with us, they did not send us to none of these other territories. They sent us to the Spaniards in Honduras. So here we are now on the mainland in Honduras, and as time went by, we moved to the Guatemalan coastline. Slowly and surely, and then we moved along. And about the middle part of the 1700s, just before the Americans they got there, like 1715, the British were already established here. This was now a colony of the British. We have a Spanish colony, British colony. So we drifted up this way. It wasn't until the third request that the British finally said, okay, you guys could come and stay here, but these are the rules of engagement. We will trade. So what we traded with the British? we traded moonshine. If we were in America, we would be from Kentucky. We traded with the British moonshine, we traded the sacred herb, marijuana.
Oh.
Because marijuana is considered sacred in the Garifuna culture.
Oh.
We traded salted fish, because we were coastline people, smoked fish, and we traded everything yucca. But they had one rule of engagement. As the sun goes down, you go down too. We are not allowed to stay in their communities after the sun is down. So we had to come back to our communities after we do business, and that's the way how we coexisted at the primary level with the British. From the Black Caribs to make it official in this country, the Garifuna people, which means the cassava people.
I'd read a lot of that online prior to my trip, but to hear it from an actual Garifuna, it was just such an amazing, amazing learning experience for me. An Afro-Caribbean community that was never enslaved, that had a community with coordinated efforts to fight off colonization, not only from the British, but also from the Spaniards, and still survive and maintain their culture and their roots intact today. That's amazing to me. So after our history lesson, then he took us around the gardens as we were on our way to another part of the compound. So as we were going through the gardens, he was telling us about how they use natural herbs to keep themselves healthy or to heal themselves.
What they do is once you have this plant in your yard, you come, you pick up some of this, you chew on it, and that will give you an hour, hour and a half extra so you could do whatever you want to do before you go to bed. It increases your energy. Now,
And what is the name of this plant?
the tree of life.
And he was telling us how some of the plants and trees that are grown naturally on their land are in high demand, and a lot of scientists and pharmacists and researchers are, of course, trying to exploit their land to get these herbs.
But now this is in so much of high demand, the pharmaceutical people are now requesting it for people taking radiation treatment. So it has changed the life of this plant from 50 cents Belize a pound to $5 US a pound in the last 5 years alone.
However, when major corporations get their greedy little hands on it, and they are using these plants and herbs and natural remedies to create pharmaceutical products to treat major illnesses like cancer, you know, when they sell it, they are making thousands and millions and billions of dollars. I hate that our people are still exploited to this day for the benefit of major corporations. But anyway, after walking through the gardens with Dad and listening to the way they heal themselves and they use natural remedies to treat common illnesses, then he walked us over to the kitchen. And there I met the beautiful Yuwani. She is the genius behind this curated experience that's sold on Airbnb. As we entered her kitchen, we learned that in the Garifuna community that all women come together and cook together in the kitchen at the same time because they're cooking for the community at large. So they're accustomed to cooking for very large amounts of people. But on this particular day, it was a small group of us, maybe 10 of us total, but we were greeted with a rum punch and some fried plantains. And I don't usually like plantains. I don't really care for plantains because in my mind, it's like I'm looking at something that looks like a banana, but then when I taste it, it's not sweet. So I'm not a fan of plantains. But for some reason, I don't know what type of oil they use, what type of seasoning they use. The plantains that she put in front of me, they were good. I ate every last one of them. And then she passed around some rum if we wanted extra rum in our punch. And I sure enough did. I helped myself. But because I was so surprised that I liked the plantains, I was like, okay, what we about to do in this kitchen? What they about to serve us in this kitchen? I was like, we're about to have a real good Garifuna meal. What I didn't know was that I was about to be put to work and I had to make my own meal. Girl. So after we finished our welcome snack and our welcome drink, we were shown a little demo about how to prep the main ingredient of most Garifuna dishes.
Open it up. Yeah, 1, 2, and 3. So when you put it, you just gotta press down and lean left and right. It is open.
Prior to this experience, I had never in my life opened a coconut before. Every time I saw a coconut, if we were pulling a coconut from the tree, it was already one of those nice, perfectly round coconuts. And I just recall seeing someone like maybe poking a hole in it or something and putting a straw in it, and that was coconut water. I did not know that was a whole process involved in taking I guess you would call it the hull or the outer shell off the coconut. I didn't know that was a thing. So girl, I was struggling.
This coconut better be good.
Yeah. Straight down. Let's
You
go.
would have pretty tough hands if you did that regularly.
Go.
Oh,
Use the
yeah.
nut. Use the nut. Rock the nut. Yeah. Use that nut. Rock it left, right. Left, right. Bring it back. Bring it back. All the way. This way. Go. Go, girl. Go. Okay. Okay. Pull it apart. Let's see. Let's see that muscle. Let's go. Let's go. Ah. Okay.
She's doing it with
Ah.
You didn't even break a nail.
And then I had to chop the coconut open. I'd never done that before either. Here I am thinking, I'm all done with this coconut. Yuani was like, okay, girl, we just getting started. I was like, oh, I didn't know I came to work. She was like, you want to be in the Garifuna kitchen? Let's get to work to make this meal. So I had to go over to this other workstation. I don't know what the machine is called, but I had to grind out the inside of the coconut. I was like, what is we eating? Do y'all really do all of this work just to prepare a meal? It was a lot of work. I was getting a workout in. My shoulders was tired. My wrist was tired. I was grinding the inside of that coconut. It was a lot of fun though. But once I got the meat out of the coconut, I still wasn't done. Then we had to take the meat and we had to rinse it off and then we had to soak it. So here I am soaking my coconut meat. I had no idea that we were making coconut milk. No idea what I'm doing or why I'm doing it. And I finally asked Yuani, what is this and how long does it take? Because I was hungry.
So interesting. How long does it soak?
For about 2 minutes.
Oh, okay.
We're just having fun here, that's all.
Oh, okay.
So once the coconut milk was prepped, we put that to the side to work on the next thing. I thought the manual labor was over. Then they showed me how to make, I think it was some type of plantains or mashed plantains. I don't remember what it was called, but I remember it was a lot of work too.
Soaking in lime.
Plantain.
Oh, this is the out of it. Was it cooked or this is fresh? Boiled.
Child, struggle, bus. Dad came in and saw me struggling, and he was like, "Girl, let me help you."
The men weren't allowed in the kitchen.
No, we go try to go everywhere.
He said after a certain age, you do what you want, huh?
Who want to try, sir?
And he took over, but I was mashing and I was grinding and I was mashing and I was grinding. And of course, they did a demo first. And when they do the demo, they made it look so easy, child. It looks so easy. But why, when I do it, I feel like I'm an old lady with no strength. That was a lot of work. I was glad when that was over. So the other thing that we helped prep, girl, she had me cleaning the fish and salting the fish and season. They use all the same seasonings that African Americans use. I was not surprised by that. I knew their food was good for a reason. There was a lot of different herbs and seasonings. And I think I even remember seeing a Tony's container. You know, that Tony's all-purpose seasoning? But yeah. So when it was all said and done, we had some type of stew. We had the fish. One was like a coconut stew. Another one was just like a regular broth because I wasn't able to eat the coconut stew because I'm allergic to coconut. So they made a separate one for me with just the broth. And it was delicious. It was so good. My mouth was watering at the smell of it, the look of it, and when I tasted it, girl, the Garifuna people can cook. That food was so good. It was so good. I didn't need any type of sauce. She was passing around different sauces. One was green, one was red. I'm assuming something was spicy. I ain't need nothing. I ain't use any of the sauces. I just ate it the way it was served in my bowl. It was so daggone good. But that was so much fun, making that meal and breaking bread with Yuani and her family. And then after our lunch was over, we were taken to another part of the compound where they do performances and they have the drumming. We were introduced to another family member that was the musician of the family. And here he's introducing us to the drums. He's telling us about the different types of drums they use.
Well-known drummer here in the village. I've been playing from when I was a little boy. I've been around these drums from when I was 5 years old. And these drums here in front of you, these are called the segunda. These are the bass drums. And this one is the primero, the leading drum. Alright, so I'm gonna demonstrate to you in a bit how these are played after we get through with some rhythm.
And then he started introducing us to some basic drum rhythms. I really enjoyed this experience too. My hands got tired. I just wanted to watch him and rock out while he was playing his drums. Because I was feeling the beat. I was like, yeah, get it. But although I didn't drum much because my hands got tired, it was still a very fun experience too. After the drumming was over, Wani brought us all together as a group and we took pictures. It was an amazing, amazing experience. I really, really enjoyed myself. It was a beautiful cultural exchange. It was wonderful to learn more about the history of the Garifuna people directly from the horse's mouth. And it was also beautiful to listen to the drumming. And then we learned that he was performing at a restaurant later on that night. So, of course, I linked up with one of my friends and we went to the restaurant. This is an experience that I highly recommend for all Black women travelers. If you have never been to Belize, and even if you've been to Belize, if you did not have an opportunity to interact with the Garifuna people, this is an excursion that's worth going back to do. Again, I found it on Airbnb Experiences. It is the Garifuna Cultural Soul Experience, and it was a wonderful, soulful experience indeed. I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, bye for now.